What an amazing week we've had together. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. We've seen that the devil has a sinister, bad plan. He wants to kill Jesus because he thinks by killing Jesus, he's going to stop us finding God, stop us finding peace with God, stop us finding forgiveness of sins and experiencing life to the full. On the other hand, we see God's plan unfolding. God's plan to give us life, to help us find God, to help us find forgiveness of sins. We celebrated communion yesterday. We remembered that the devil has come to kill and steal life from us. But Jesus has come to be killed, to give us life and life to the full. Isn't Jesus beautiful? Well, we're going to see today how these two plans collide as we head into Good Friday. I want to read from Luke 22, verse 39. It says, Jesus went, as usual, to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples followed him. Verse 41. He withdrew about a stone's throw beyond them, knelt down and prayed, Father, if you are willing, take this cup from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done. An angel from heaven, appeared to him and strengthened him. And being in anguish, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was like drops of blood falling to the ground. What an incredible story. I've never prayed that hard. I don't know about you. Jesus knows that this plan is going to be difficult. He knows he's going to suffer. He asked God, is there any other way to get forgiveness for the sins of people? Is there any other way to rescue them? But there isn't. And so Jesus says, well, I'll do it anyway. He's so in anguish that God sends an angel to comfort him. And even after all of that, he's praying so hard that he sweats, and it looks like there's drops of blood dripping off him. You know, there's two things we can learn from this. One, sin is terrible and has very bad consequences. The only way for us to be forgiven of sins is for Jesus to suffer and die. Sin is not a good thing. But the second thing we see is just how much God loves us. Easter is about remembering and celebrating and worshiping God, that he was willing to go so far to help us gain forgiveness of sins and experience life to the full. Let me read from verse 47. While he was still speaking, the crowd came up, and the man who was called Judas, one of the 12, was leading them. Remember, Judas is the guy who betrayed Jesus. He approached Jesus to kiss him. But Jesus asked him, Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss? When Jesus' followers saw what was going to happen, they said, Lord, should we strike with our swords? And one of them struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his right ear. But Jesus said, no more of this. Touched the man's ear and healed him. Things are getting heated. The stories are colliding. Jesus' followers aren't following that. They think the devil's plan is going to win, and so they want to fight to protect Jesus. But Jesus, on the other hand, understands that he has to die. And so he heals the man that was struck, heals his ear. Easter is a good time for us to remember that no matter what circumstances we find ourselves in, like his followers, when things seem to be going wrong, when bad things seem to be happening, when our friendships, our relationships, our work, that there's pressures of life, that we can trust that God is at work, working all things for our good. That's what we read in Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. So wherever you find yourself today, you can call out to God and celebrate that he's at work in your life. Well, that's it for this week. Enjoy the chats, close in prayer, and we'll see you for Good Friday and Easter Sunday at Seaburg.